Yo, yo, what's poppin'? What's going on? What's the deal, people? It's your boy, Mr. Locario, the bad boy of the dating game. What's good? So, in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 reasons why a girl who really likes you will lose interest. Okay? 5 reasons why. Okay, guys, look. I always talk about high interest. You understand? And, focusing on women who show you that high interest, right? And so in this video, I want to talk about when a woman has that high interest in you, she really likes you, but then there are certain things you're doing that's going to make her lose interest. That's going to make her, unattracted to you. You see what I'm saying? And so the reason why I want to do this is because I don't want you guys to get into a situation where you actually get a girl who's really feeling you, who really likes you, and then you fuck it up. You understand? And so the thing is that it's easy to fuck up sometimes if you don't know what you're doing, right? And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through these 5 things, right? And this is in no order of importance, but I'm going to explain to you, these 5 things that you are doing that'll make a girl who's really, really feeling you into a girl who's starting to lose interest, and eventually a girl who probably just won't be interested in you at all. Because just because a girl has high interest doesn't mean her interest is going to stay high forever, because there's certain things that you may be doing, as far as your personality and how you're coming at the chick, that will make the chick not want to fuck with you. You see what I'm saying? And so I don't want you to get into the situation where that will happen for you, right? So let's just jump right into this, all right? So the first thing that you might be doing, or that you'll end up doing, that'll make a girl who really, really likes you not like you or lose interest in you, is when you're trying to be who you think she wants you to be. When you're trying to be who you think she wants you to be, right? So what does this mean? And this is an interesting one too, because what happens is that when you're trying to be who you think she wants you to be, she ends up liking you, because what you'll do is that you'll display behaviors that you hear women always saying that they want, right? That's what's going to happen. You're going to be displaying behaviors that women say that they want. So what does that mean? That means when you first get with her, or start dating her or whatever, you're going to show her a lot of attention. You're going to text her, a lot. Be like, hey, good morning. How are you? I was thinking about you. I can't wait to see you next. And, so you're being very, very attentive. You're being very romantic. You understand? You're showing her a lot of attention, letting her think that you're really, really feeling her. And a lot of guys do this. And the reason why they do this is because they want the girl to like them. So they're like, well, let me text her good morning. Let me show her that I care. Let me interact with her in this way, right? And so he's being who he thinks she wants him to be, right? And so what happens is that a woman starts to like this guy in hopes that he is that dude, that he is that type of guy. She's like thinking, damn, I've been, I want a guy like this. I've been waiting for Mr. Right and all this other shit. And so you're playing the character of Mr. Right. You're being very consistent up, as far as in the beginning. You're texting her all the time. You're hanging out with her, taking her out on dates. Y'all are hooking up. Everything is fine. But what happens is that this guy that you're being right now is not really the real you. You don't feel like texting her all the time, but you do it anyway because you feel like you need to keep the momentum up. You understand? You may not want to even go on another date with her. You may just want to go and hook up with her, but you feel you're saying to yourself, well, I don't want her to think I'm like those other guys who just want sex. So I'm going to take her out a few times more. Even though we're hooking up or whatever, I still want her to like me. So I'm going to do these things. What happens though is that she starts to like you, but then she starts to lose interest because what you're doing cannot be sustained. You understand? So let's say, for example, I've known dudes who've done this plenty of times. For those who don't know, I'm in an open relationship. So, I have a wife, I have a girlfriend, I date other women or whatever. And so when they're dating other guys, they show me, what these guys be saying to them and what they're texting them or whatever. And so you'll have guys who will date certain women and they'll text them like almost every day. You understand? When they first get with the girl. So it's maybe the first couple weeks they're dating, the first month or two they're dating, and the guy's texting her every day. So she's starting to like that because she's like, damn, I guess this guy really likes me, right? But what happens is that at a certain point, the texting every day subsides. Now it goes from every day to maybe 3 or 4 times a week. And then so the woman's like, what the fuck? Like, what happened? Is he losing interest? What's going on? So the guy seems like a different guy. You understand? And then so the guy she was feeling is no longer there because his real self is coming out now, right? So she's starting to lose interest because who she was interested in was a lie. You understand? It wasn't the real him. The real him is the guy that's only texting her 3 times a week or something like that. The guy who was texting her every day was the guy who was putting on that front to keep her interested. He was doing what he thought she wants. But what happens is because he can't keep that up, then she's going to lose interest because he seems like a whole different motherfucker now. Right? And she's going to lose interest because he is not being consistent with how he was before, but it's hard for him to be consistent with how he was before because how he was before was him putting on that act to get her to like him. So now what's going to happen is if you're the type of guy who's doing these things, when you start fucking with a girl, you first start dealing with a girl, if you're the type of guy who does this, eventually the girl is going to lose interest because you can't keep up the facade that you put out there. You understand? I know a lot of guys who do this. I call it coming in hot. You understand? They come into a situation hot with a chick, meaning that they meet this girl, they go out on a date with her, maybe they hook up with her that date, or maybe they hook up with her the second date, and they're texting her every week. They're like, oh, I miss you, I can't wait to see you. They're coming in hot. They're making it this big deal from the beginning. So the girl's interest is up here. Because like if she really likes the guy, she's like, man, maybe he could be my new boyfriend. But then because the guy can't keep that up because what he's doing is sort of like, him just doing that and overdoing it, eventually it's going to subside and then she's going to see the real you, and the real you is not going to compare to the image of what you presented from the beginning. You see what I'm saying? So see, the thing that you got to do is instead of doing all that extra shit, just be who you're going to be in the beginning. Be yourself. Don't try to do extra shit to get the girl to like you, because that usually backfires, because what will happen is she will start to lose interest when she sees that, you're falling off. You see what I'm saying? When she sees that what you were doing was somewhat of an act, or she may not even perceive it as an act, but she may look at it as you're just not as interested in her because you're not keeping up with how you were doing it before. She's going to lose interest. So you have this girl who was really, really liking you, and now she's losing interest. But see, the interesting part about this situation is who she was really liking was the guy who was presenting at the beginning, which wasn't the real you. You were doing what you think she wanted you to do. You were doing what you thought she wanted. You see what I'm saying? But what happened is that when you were dealing with this woman, she found out later on who you really were. So that's number one. Well, number one is trying to be who you think she wants you to be. And then when you're doing that, that's going to make a girl who really likes you into a girl who is just like losing interest, right? Now, the second one, and this is something that you guys have to really understand, and a lot of guys make this mistake, and this is very, very important, and I don't think this is talked about enough. And this type of thing will make a chick who you're really feeling, who is feeling you, end up not feeling you. right? And you got to make sure you don't do this shit, right? So the second thing that's going to make a chick who's really feeling you lose interest is when